Have you ever felt a creeping anxiety, not when things are going badly, but when they are going perfectly, when everything in your life seems just a little too good? It is that quiet, unsettling fear in the back of your mind, the one that whispers, "What if this all disappears tomorrow? What did I do to deserve this?" And perhaps the most frightening question of all, what will I do? Who will I be when this good fortune is finally gone from my life? This feeling, this very specific and deeply human anxiety, is not just a modern pressure created by our fast-paced world. This emotion has a name in Japan. It has a face, and it comes with a terrifyingly fragile set of rules. It is a spirit known as the Zashiki-warashi, the child ghost of the guest room. This is not a story of horror, at least not in the traditional sense. It is a profound and deeply personal story about our complex relationship with luck itself. So, this is not a traditional scary story I am telling you today. This is a personal reflection, a kind of blog post, about the most human ghost story I have ever encountered. The Zashiki-warashi is not a demon to be feared, but rather a powerful spirit to be hosted, to be cared for, almost like a royal guest in your own home. It almost always appears as a small child, often with a cherubic reddish face and a traditional bobbed haircut, dressed in old-fashioned expensive clothing. It is said to inhabit the grand old houses of established families, choosing to live in the Zashiki, the home's best and most important guest room. Its presence is a living, breathing, and incredibly high-stakes contract with fate, a sign that your family has been chosen for greatness. The symptoms of its presence are not terrifying, but playful. You might hear the soft patter of small footsteps running down an empty hallway in the middle of the night. You might hear the rustling of paper or the sound of a child's toy, only to find the room is empty. Some legends say you wake to find small, ashen footprints on the floor. It is as if you are living with a real child, a mischievous but fundamentally benevolent and unseen member of your family, who is the secret source of all your good fortune. As long as the Zashiki-warashi is in your house, your family will be blessed with incredible, almost supernatural prosperity. Your fortunes will rise, and you will know success. But this prosperity comes with a hidden psychological price. It comes with a set of unspoken rules that form the core of this social virus, this ancient piece of human wisdom. The Zashiki-warashi, you see, must be cared for. It is a child, after all. It demands to be acknowledged, respected, and treated with kindness, even though you cannot always see it. This is where the relationship becomes incredibly complex. The spirit must be acknowledged, but it must not be captured. It must be respected, but it must not be worshipped. Families would leave out sweet beans or a small child's toy in the guest room every night, a small daily offering, a quiet nod of gratitude and respect. This simple act is a profound metaphor. It's a question the legend poses to us. Are you a good person because it is the right thing to do? Or are you a good person simply because you are afraid of losing your luck, terrified that the invisible source of your success is watching your every move? This is where the true horror of the legend lies, and it is a deeply personal and psychological one. The real terror is not what the spirit does when it is in your house. The terror, the absolute dread, is what happens when it decides to leave. The signs of its departure are subtle at first. The laughter in the hallways stops. The small, playful pranks cease. The house, once vibrant with this unseen energy, suddenly feels cold, sterile, and profoundly empty. Because the stories are unanimous on this point. When the Zashiki-warashi departs, the family's fortune shatters completely. It does not decline. It collapses. The ruin is not a slow, gentle decay. It is a catastrophic failure. Businesses that were thriving fail overnight. Crops suddenly wither in the fields. The family, once the envy of the entire village, falls into ruin. Poverty and a despair so deep that they become a lesson, a warning to others. The legend is a terrifying social commentary on the razor-thin, fragile edge that exists between having and having absolutely nothing. Now, let us peel back the folklore. Let us perform the autopsy, not on a ghost, but on this profoundly human and anxious idea. This story is not really about a spirit. It is about us. It is a perfect mirror held up to our own lives, reflecting our deepest insecurities. The Zashiki-warashi is the perfect haunting personification of our status anxiety. It is the literal embodiment of that creeping fear we all feel when things are going too well. We all have a Zashiki-warashi in our lives, an external source of fortune that we are terrified of losing. Let us think about what that means for us today. Maybe for you, it is your high-pressure job. Maybe it is your social media following. Maybe it is a perfect relationship that you feel you do not deserve. Let's take a very modern example as a case study: the life of a successful content creator, a social media influencer, or even a YouTuber. Their house is their channel, their brand, the carefully constructed public-facing persona that they present to the world every single day. The Zashiki-warashi is their audience. It is their engagement. It is the fickle, all-powerful, and completely invisible algorithm that grants them prosperity. As long as this spirit is happy, their house thrives. The views come in, the sponsorships arrive. They are blessed with fortune and success, but the spirit must be fed. They must perform the rituals. They must post daily, not because they are inspired, but because they are terrified the spirit will leave. They must leave out their offerings of perfect vacation photos, painfully relatable confessions, and flawless family moments, all to please the invisible child in the room. They hear the footsteps of the ghost in the sound of likes and comments and shares. That sound is their only proof that the luck is still there, that they are still safe. But the relationship, as it does in the legend, becomes toxic. They are no longer a person expressing themselves. They become a caretaker of their own brand. They are trapped in a golden cage, performing kindness and authenticity not from the heart, but as a transaction, a desperate bargain to keep the spirit from leaving. 4S. And the fear of it leaving? The fear of a bad post, of being canceled, or just slowly becoming irrelevant. That is the modern ruin. The collapse is just as catastrophic as it was in the old stories. The income dries up, the brand fails. The person is left in the ruin of their old success. This reveals an even deeper, more tragic layer to the legend and to our own lives: the paradox of care. What happens if you try too hard? What happens if you, in your anxiety, decide to lock the doors, board the windows, and try to trap your good fortune to keep it from ever leaving? The legend implies the spirit cannot be held. It is a child. It is wild. It represents freedom and caprice. By trying to cage it, you cause it to leave. Your desperate need to control your happiness is the very thing that guarantees its destruction. We poison the well with our own anxiety. This is the definition of burnout. This is the relationship that fails because one person held on too tightly, smothering the very thing they loved. This is the job that crushes you because you sacrificed your entire self, your health, your family, in a desperate attempt to keep it. So yes, this ancient Japanese story has diagnosed our modern condition with chilling and heartbreaking accuracy. It is a profound piece of human psychology. We are all hosts to these invisible, demanding child ghosts. And we are all terrified of the profound, deafening silence they might one day leave behind. This story forces us to ask a deeply personal question, a question perfect for a blog, for a quiet moment of self-reflection. Is the happiness we are chasing a true, sustainable joy that comes from within? Or is it merely a fragile prosperity, a high-interest loan from a fickle ghost? Is it a gift that we have truly earned and integrated into our lives? Or is it a heavy, precious burden that we are terrified to set down for even a single moment? The Zashiki-warashi teaches us that the greatest wealth is not the fortune it brings, but the ability to build a life that is strong enough to survive its departure. It challenges us to find a sense of self and peace before the luck arrives, and to find a way to maintain that core peace even if it all one day chooses to walk out the door. It asks us to look at our lives, at our careers, at our relationships, and ask the hardest, most honest question of all: am I truly living? Or am I just incredibly busy every single day, trying not to fail? This, I believe, is the true purpose of these ancient stories. They are not here to scare us with monsters in the dark. They are here to help us understand the very real, very human ghosts that we live with every single day. The real challenge, then, is to build a house, a life so full of your own authentic joy and purpose that even if the spirit of luck leaves, the house remains full.